So once you have completed a Pear Deck lesson, you're going to go to peardeck.com and you're going to sign in as a teacher. If you've never signed in, it's probably going to ask you to connect with your Google account. Go ahead and do that so that way you can sign in and you'll now have a crown over your name. Once you are finished, you're going to go to sessions. And once you're at sessions, this is where you can see your dashboard. These are all the sessions I've ever done. It organizes it by date, what kind of lesson it was. Right now, there's some lessons that are still open. If I wanted to close these lessons, you go to the three dots and you can hit end session. Okay, now it says close. Here's the session name. Here are the slides. And then in Drive, this is what it is called for the file name. And again, you can see different information as you click on the lesson. The first thing you're going to want to do, if the lesson is live, you're going to have this option to kind of open it up from the classroom view. I would go, this is if you want no student names and you want to present with the class and go over the data. Maybe it was a self-paced lesson and you want to review the lesson with no student names to protect FERPA. The next one over here is the teacher dashboard. This one has names. So no names, has names. So I'm going to go ahead to this lesson that I did, and I'm able to see the teacher dashboard. Once it opens up, I can quickly see how every student responded. There's a couple different ways to view this lesson. If I have it on this list view, you can go ahead and scroll down and you'll be able to see more responses. Only one person responded on this one, so that's why you can only see that one response. The grid layout will have all of them kind of in a grid that looks nicely. This overlay will have all the answers on one slide, so you can quickly see, and if you hover over the answer, you'll be able to see how different students responded. On the grid or on the list view, you can link feedback for students. So I can say, please try again, and the student will be able to see that feedback if they open up your lesson again. So you'll want to make sure that you leave the lesson open once you have feedback. Okay, and again, I can see how they answered on this text. I can see how they answered on this draw. I can see here how they answered. I can even hover and see all the names, or I can open up as a grid to see how they answered individually. Okay, once I'm all finished looking over this feedback, I can then go over here and I can either decide if I need to reopen this session to allow students to view it, or I can export to a spreadsheet. Exporting to a spreadsheet might be helpful for different questions. They work for anything but for the drawing tools. So anything where it's a drawing tool, it will not show up, but I can see how the student answered in the other types of slides. So if you need to have a spreadsheet of all your answers, again, that is where the three dots are, and you can export to a spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to go back to Pear Deck. I'm going to go back to sessions, and I'm going to go to the lesson. Over here, I can reopen the session, I can rename the session, I can archive the lesson, and I can also do takeaways. Takeaways can be a very powerful tool. So if you open up takeaways, you can allow your students to have another brain dump opportunity. And we'll talk about takeaways in the next lesson.